Hello and welcome to my podcast. This is the Mamzo podcast, a channel where we'll be talking about life in general, things that most people don't want to talk about, and things that are happening in the world. Now, today on my podcast, before we go to that, this is our very first episode, and my name is Palesa Taulo, but normally they call me Lady Mamzo. So today on our show, I am very pleased to say that I am starting off this channel with my brother who is now studying law. He actually used to be in the army, so now he went in the law industry. And thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our video. And we hope that we're going to have a long journey together. And I hope that you are going to like our show. Hello, this is my guest. His name is Tumelo Chris Vanna, and he has been seen there and there on the TV, on the news. If you haven't seen him, you are about to hear his journey about how and when and how it came about that he is now a law practitioner. Tumelo, would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Hello. First, I would like to correct you. I'm not a law student. You said something like that.
Yes, I meant a law practitioner.
Legal
You said
practitioner,
legal
yes.
practitioner, yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, it's very important for people to distinguish. Uh, there's a broader definition of being a lawyer, and many people struggle with distinguishing between get to touch on as we proceed with your podcast.
Thank you.
And I'm quite delighted to be your guest today. Thank you for having chosen me as an opening guest for this podcast. I really much appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming to our show.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so as I was saying, I am a legal practitioner who is an attorney of the High Court of South Africa, duly admitted so and complied with all the relevant provisions of the Act as stipulated in the Legal Practice Act.
Okay.
Very important for me to emphasize that.
Yes.
So I assume to those who know me, I'm known as a soldier. Yes. I've served in the defense force for many years. So while I was there during my service as a soldier, I was in the division that is called TSC, Technical Training Center, or they call them TEFIS. So what we usually do there is we deal with technical stuff, repairs of vehicles, ensuring that all military equipments are combat ready, from anything technical, weapons, and including vehicles and stuff. So that's where my journey started. So while I was serving in the defense force, I took it upon myself that I wanted more, So I enrolled for a degree, Bachelor's of Law, with the University of South Africa, which I studied while I was employed. Yes. So I managed to even finish it in record time. Thank God I never got to actually fail any module. I don't know what that is.
So would you say you're a genius in some kind of way?
No, not a genius, but a hard worker.
Okay.
I knew what was expected from me and I did likewise. I prepared for the exams. I prepared for my assignments. I did what was expected from me. So I got the outcome that should be gotten from whoever prepares for any task given to them.
So you would say it's all about discipline. You were disciplined.
I definitely was. That cannot be debatable. So I was very disciplined. Yes, my sister.
So in your opinion, what would you say? What is your definition of success?
I believe success is subjective. So when I say something is subjective, it would mean that it differs from person to person. For me, success would be to attain a certain thing. To another person, what I've attained might be considered small, but to me it's big because of it was my goal. So when you get to the point where you have reached your goal or doing something to get to the point where you reach your goal, that will be my definition of success. Even if there is an improvement, where you can see that you are not where you were, but you are getting there. Yes, you're not where you were.
So we call it success.
Yes, progress. Basically, yes.
I like it. Yes, I like how you put it. When it doesn't matter how small or big it is.
It's
as
subjective.
Long as it's something that you reach, that you wish to reach.
Yes. And working towards it. Yes.
I like how you say it.
Thank you, sister.
So what is the biggest challenge? The biggest challenge that you had to face in the industry that you were in, and the one that you are in now. The one that you were in before, like in the army, and the one that you are in now.
Okay. In the defense force, there are a lot of demands, and one thing that I believe most soldiers struggle with is being away from your family for a prolonged period of time. And it happens that you find yourself there, and as a soldier you take orders, and compliance with those orders might mean that you are away from home for a long time. And usually most soldiers, as a result of being away from home for a long time, you find issues such as ones that would have to do with infidelity from their significant others, because of you'll have to spend over a year without seeing your partner. There is a nature of a human that one has to respond to, and it leads to such thing. I personally did not have to encounter that, but it's something that is normal to most soldiers, that they spend plenty of time away from their families. Sorry, and that is something that you actually deal with as a military personnel. It's something that is inevitable. It's expected from you, and that's why some of the forms when you join the defense force, they'll actually subscribe to the idea and informing you that are you area bound or not. They're not joking when they ask you that question, because of you are going to be expected to be far from your home. And the training itself, it's quite interesting, differs from person to person. Now on the legal profession. The legal profession is very saturated. By the way, I'm running my own practice. I'm a director of my own law firm. So I have a partner who we joined up and decided, you know what, let's start a law firm. We did not know what's going to happen. We have made the decision that, you know what, we didn't know where we were going to get our first client. But today we have been able to make a name for ourselves. We were able to do that. It's not easy. There are a lot of law firms that are struggling. There are a lot of legal practitioners that are still struggling even today to secure a job. So it's something that is not an easy feat, one could say. So it is a huge obstacle, especially not knowing if you'll be able to gather enough funds for the month to pay employees, to pay rent, to meet your own financial obligations. So it's quite tough on that end, but yeah, we are winning by God's grace.
With God's grace. Yes. I was going to ask if you think it's a blessing, or is it hard work, or is it all of them together?
It's a combination of all.
Yes. And yeah, speaking of blessings, I do remember that you used to be a junior pastor.
Yes.
You used to be a junior pastor, and every school was saying, "Hey, Chris Vana." And from being a junior pastor, when you were at that young age, how was it for you? Because I can tell that a lot of people would judge you for being a pastor at a young age. They would say this and that, but how was it for you?
Wow, okay, I was not expecting that, but it's quite an interesting question. My journey with God was that of a calling. It was not a burden. It was easy because I was not doing it by my own strength. I was not doing it by my own might, but I was doing it by the grace of God. So due to that, it made the journey easy because I was just an instrument. I was just a voice that God was using. Yes, people were skeptical about the idea at my age, doing what I was doing. Because of usually people would say, "Oh no, you need to live a bit." But what is living? I believe also living is subjective. If you believe living is about being an alcoholic, being involved with multiple women, that's your own definition of living. Mine at the time was to be devoted to God, and it was a pleasurable journey that I had with the Lord. at the time. Yes.
So now, do you still believe in God? Are you a churchgoer? Or has things changed? Have they changed from being chosen by God?
You prepared me for these questions.
That's all about our show. It's all about our show. Unexpected.
I strongly believe in God. Everything that I've achieved, that I'm gonna achieve, that makes me who I am. It's all by the grace of God. I strongly believe in God. Do I go to church? No, not this much. I'm being honest.
Okay.
I'm being honest. I don't go to church as much as I used to. There are reasons, of course, for me not going to church as much as I used to. It has nothing to do with my relationship with God. It is more,
You say it's more professional.
not really professional, but more to do with things that are happening in church today.
Oh.
You understand? So my interpretation of the relationship that I have with God and whatever is happening today made me to feel like, you know what, I should isolate myself from that.
Okay.
Yes. But I do believe. I'm a strong believer. Yes.
Yes. And are you a morning or a night person?
Yeah. I'm grumpy in the morning.
So you're grumpy in the morning.
I'm very grumpy in the morning.
So we shouldn't call you in the morning.
No, I don't like morning calls. I'm grumpy in the morning. I'm more relaxed at night. So I would have dealt with whatever I need to deal with during the day. Yeah. So I can say that I'm a night person.
So you as a night person, do you go out at night or are you just a night person like watching movies? What is your definition of fun actually? What do you like to do for fun? Because we know that as a lawyer you also need time to unwind. So
Yes.
what do you do to unwind? How do you unwind?
There are times or instances where I socialize. It's not an every weekend thing, but I also agree with the statement that you just made. I completely agree with it. There are instances where one needs to socialize and be around people. So I've been compliant to say I do socialize, but it's not an every weekend thing. Yeah, I'll usually do it probably once a month.
Okay. Yes. So who would you say helped you through the hardest of your times and helped you get where you are in your career?
God.
Only God.
I'm a fanatic, by the way. So when it comes to God, it's a very personal relationship because I cannot really give this credit to anyone but God. Mm-hmm. I can agree there are people who got used to be my destiny helpers. I'm not going to diminish their role in making me or having made me who I am today. Their role is not diminished. I'm just of an opinion that their role was played and instructed, even though they may not know, but they were instructed by God to be there to assist me in attaining that which I needed to attain at the time.
Yeah, it's what I always say. You're right to say, in life, there are those people, by the way, they are there to push you. And even though they don't know it yet, but they are there to push you through or something. Ne? And there's this belief, Horiano, you have to pay them back. And I don't think necessarily that you have to pay someone back just because they were there in a point in your life when you needed them. Because if you were there, I believe, yeah, like you just said, I believe if somebody is there in your life and to help you or to push you through something better, it was because God said he's like an angel now. It's like God said, no, when I want you to be there at a certain time and help this person. But do you think it's necessary or is it a need or you have to now pay this person back? Because I believe now my gratitude will be more than enough. If I say to you, thank you for helping me through life itself or helping me to my success, I believe that's more than enough because that's all God needs. But there's this thing, no, but I did this for you, and I bought you this, or I did this. You need to pay me back. Do you believe, or do you think that's a good thing?
Personally,
Personally,
people do things for us for different reasons. Some it's an investment that they believe. Okay. One day should I need this person's help, even though they are not open about that the moment they are helping you, but they are investing so that in future they can come back and claim, oh look, you owe me a favor. You get me? But I don't believe in doing that. I believe when you help a person as a human being, you should do it because of you realize the need and it's out of the goodness of your heart. And that need can be met by you. You have the capacity and the capability of executing the need that that person is or will be encountering. That should not entail that at the end of the day you'll also have to owe that person a favor. Yes, but will that prevent us from ignoring the fact that that is the reality that we're faced with on daily basis? No, we are faced with that on daily basis. That people will always go back, especially when times become tough for them, and you are in a position of assisting them. They'll put you in a position of reminding you that look, you are who you are or where you are now. Had it not been for my assistance, that is something that you would not have been able to achieve. So they'll take it more of a debt. Whereas even you, when you helped them at the time, you were not doing it to benefit. But now that in a need, you feel like no, yeah, you feel like no, you owe me a favor. It's human nature.
It's human nature. Okay, and Mariana,
Yeah.
so you, Mr. Timelovana,
Yes, ma'am.
we'd like to know if you are seeing anybody. Is there a Mrs. Vanna in the picture? Is there going to be a Mrs. Vanna in the picture? I believe our ladies would like to know. Are you a family person?
In America, they call it that they'll raise the Fifth Amendment. There's this other political guy who was Khozo Mkhutsi. He was saying that I waive my right to remain silent. So I would like to do same.
So they said no comment.
No comment. It's very confidential, that aspect of my life. Am I a family person? I believe in family. I believe it's a structure that was designed and invented by God, and God did not design a person to be alone.
But would you say you would want to have a family in future?
Yes.
You're basically saying you want to have a family.
Yes. Basically, it was be something that I would like having as well. People do. It's beautiful seeing people operating as a family.
But in your
professional life,
in your professional life,
dealing with divorces and stuff.
Yes, I was going to go there.
I know. I think people in those instances get into marriage for wrong reasons, and once they are fed up, they turn into enemies.
They do.
Yeah. So does it mean that there's no love? No. We have people who have a good success rate of marriage. You find people who've been married for 40 years, 50 years. It shows that there's hope. Just because of this generation is failing, it just shows that people are getting married for wrong reasons. It's no longer about love. To some, it's about what they can benefit from that marriage. And once the benefit part ends, then they no longer feel like being part of that marriage. Some, they enter into marriages just to rip off the other party to get a share of their estate. So people enter marriages for different reasons. So it's really difficult to be certain as to the person that you are in a marital relationship with, or you're about to enter into a marital relationship with, what is their motive. You'll never know. You can only gamble with that aspect.
That's true. So what advice would you give to young people who want to follow the career path that you're in, or who want to do something with their lives? I mean, maybe like, for instance, like when the people that are in the army, young people in the army, like you said earlier, they believe that being in the army is more than enough. But what advice would you give them?
Yeah, let me generalize it. Let me not just say young people in the army.
Okay, just young people.
Generally, you know what you want, and you know Usually people know what they want and they usually know what it requires for them to get there. I knew what I want. Yes, I joined the military and I was excited about the journey. But when I was there, I felt like there's something missing. I was not happy with what I was doing.
Oh, there was like a hole.
Yes, I needed to fill up. And I knew for me to actually get to where I want to be, I needed to do something. I need to sacrifice those deployments, those exercises that we do in the defense force, which usually comes with money. I deprived myself from money for many years. I deprived myself from socializing as often as I would have done if I was young. Yes, I've deprived myself a lot. It comes with a sacrifice. It doesn't just come because if I knew where I want to be and wherever exactly. So I also knew whatever I want to attain, whatever I want to achieve, it comes with certain responsibilities on my end. I have to do certain things in order to achieve that. And I've done so. And what was required from me was study. What was required from me was when guys were telling me we were going out, I knew I had an assignment to finish. After that, I knew I had to go save articles. After that, I knew I had to go write board exams. After that, I knew I had to go to law school. That is like around 8 years of sacrifice.
I'm listening to you and I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
That's a lot of job.
That's a lot, especially for a person at the time I was working. I could have said, no, man, at least I have an income. Yes, let me just try to grow in this area. But what about, I wanted to be excited when I wake up in the morning. I didn't want to feel like, exactly. I didn't want to be like, yo, that place again. You understand? I knew what was required from me. You know what? For me to attain that, it will take years. It will take years, and I am willing to put in the time. I'm willing to put in the years. I'm willing to go through the road. And I took the first step. And when I took the first step, it seemed far until I arrived.
Did you ever want to give up? Was there a time when you wanted to give up and say, this is too much?
Let me tell you something about being a legal practitioner in South Africa, specifically. They give too much power to principals. Principal is a person that trains you, that will you be training under. And some principals are very cocky. They can make your life difficult. And it's also expensive to become a legal practitioner in South Africa. A law school alone, which can be for around 5 months. Law school alone. When I was doing it, it was around 17,500. Now I heard it's on 21,000. And law school. And remember now you'll find that there are some students who come from disadvantaged families. I was helped by the fact that I had a salary from the military. So that boosted me. So I was thinking, if I didn't have that privilege of having an income, how would I have achieved that?
Would you say that maybe when you were growing up, did you see yourself as a lawyer? Is it also your background that pushed you to become who you are today?
Did I see myself as a lawyer? Yes. I saw myself as a presiding officer years ago when I was still very young. I was in primary. So I knew one day I was going to be a lawyer. But I suddenly find myself in the defense force. There were things that compelled me to end up being in the defense force. Was it my first choice? I believe so. I believe that I needed time to actually clear my mind. If I didn't go to the defense force, what would I have done? I don't know. It also came to it. The defense force, the role that the defense force played in my life. It's a huge one. It made a lot of things easy. So I cannot diminish its role in my life. It played a big role.
So from someone like I'm not saying you were privileged as a child, but I'm saying there are people who are less privileged and maybe they want to study. I get it, in South Africa there's this masters and some of them qualify, some of them qualify. Do you think like now that you have a law firm, are you not now because it's still new, like I heard you say, but in future, do you think that you'll be able to help those who are less privileged to become what they need to become, especially in your field?
It's my vision. I have that vision. I want you just say something about privilege and whatever.
Being the less privileged.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if I could consider myself to have been the one who grew up with privileges, but I can tell you that I know hardship, and I don't think hardship is fair for anyone. You know, so I wouldn't want to see another person going through any struggle while I have means to assist. So yes, it is my goal to eventually be a voice and being able to assist a lot of people as many as I can to also achieve their dreams. In as much as I, especially specifically the legal industry, it's not easy. It's not easy. Even securing articles, it's a nightmare. There are people who have graduated from law many years ago. They're struggling to secure articles even today. So it's not an easy feat. It's not as simple as it is.
So it's true indeed that you are a child of God, because everything that comes your way, you just
My life,
your life.
my life basically is a tale of God's grace.
It is.
Yeah, it's a story of the grace of God.
You are the blessed one.
I am.
Not a chosen one, but a blessed one.
I'm blessed.
You are blessed.
Ephesians 1 verse 3.
Yes. No, we do appreciate you. We appreciate you, and I personally would like to say I am very, 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 very excited that you are the first. Hopefully, one of many guests that we'll be having on our show, and it was really it was really a pleasure interviewing somebody in your caliber, and we really hope that you learn from.
Expand.
You see,
I receive.
I want you to be.
I receive. Okay.
We hope that you receive, and thank you so much for coming. Hope to have you again. I hope that you and I are gonna be in the.
Yeah, it will be a pleasure to come again once you give me
I
an
hope you
opportunity.
become our residential guest.
Hopefully.
Oh, lawyer.
Hopefully. As long as you pay for being a residential lawyer, it comes with
Guys,
a
there you
price.
have it. So don't forget to like and subscribe and share our videos, please. And next time we'll be having our guest, Tumelovana. We'll be talking about something else because he is gonna come back.
Yeah, just not next week.
Just not next week.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching, and we hope that you like our show, and we hope that you keep watching and supporting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, the Mamzo Podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers.